And in 5.
And welcome to another fine edition of It's a Sports Show. Geez, we're off to a rough start. I drank too much coffee this morning. Show number 178, if you keep a track. I'm Scott Cray, and my better half, Dolphin Paul, of course. DP, what's happening?
Not much. How you
off
doing?
Off to a rough start. I couldn't get it out.
You know.
So excited about our sports show.
Absolutely. A lot of
people
stuff
on
going
YouTube watching us. We're getting views like crazy. YouTube.com, keyword IASS.
That's great, but I just want to apologize to my little Rhode Island viewers in the little state of Rhode Island that I unfortunately what we do here is we do the tape and we have to drop it off at.
We are couriers.
We are couriers. We have to drop it off at the local cable establishment to put it on.
Because we shoot this in,
cable station.
I wonder if people know this. We shoot this in Seekonk, Massachusetts. Probably people don't even realize where we come out of. And we air here in Seekonk, Mass. to our local viewers. And then we courier it, usually you, over to Rhode Island. And that's how the state of Rhode Island gets to watch it. And then, of course, it's uploaded to YouTube for worldwide viewing. You bring that show over to Rhode Island 99% of the time. You held me with the responsibility
So hence,
once.
I'll leave him in charge of one time. I said, listen, I'm doing something.
Yep.
Which I can't say because there's a conflict of interest. But I was busy the day. We have a deadline. The tape has to be in by a certain time in order to air
Not
the
only
time it's supposed to. So I said, Scott, I can't do it. And mind you, it wasn't a last minute thing. We had like a day and a half. I said, I am done. The show's over. We've taped it. I am leaving this tape in your hands. Get it to Rhode Island viewers. So I'm sitting here Thursday, 7 o'clock after a 3-hour workout. Or maybe 3 hours sitting on the couch, something like that. And I said, I like to look at myself on TV. I don't know why.
Of course you do. It's just like looking at a mirror.
Yeah. So I turn it on, nothing on. I'm like,
I apologize
so I called the next day to lay into Scott, and just like a professional ball player, he's on vacation. So he took the tape, went.
I took Thursday, Friday off.
Rhode Island. And took Thursday and Friday off, so nobody saw us in Rhode Island.
I thought maybe the state of Rhode Island was so small that any person in Rhode Island at any time that wanted to watch it could just look into their neighbor's yard in Massachusetts. Didn't work that way.
So we were left up to YouTube.
Well, maybe we got some of those Rhode Island viewers over to YouTube because they weren't able to watch it on the air. Let's hope. I apologize to the Rhode Island viewers. It will not. Well,
wanted to point
I can't
that out.
say it won't happen again, but I'll certainly try for it to not happen again. So we got a lot going on. Football's about to start next week, actually. Preseason begins.
Well, we had a game already.
Yes,
the Hall of
if
Fame
you
game.
Count that as a game.
Yeah.
I don't. And let's get into it. I mean, preseason for me, you're much more of a diehard football fan than I am. But I very much enjoy the sport. But I could care less about preseason because
I think most people
I don't like
that.
starters
Yeah, most
for
people
four
like that.
downs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most people are like that. I think the one thing I look for the following day, but believe it or not, is if there were any injuries. I think that's what a lot of people look for because there's a lot of games in preseason, and you don't want your guy hurt. But I mean, I'll glance through it because if you're a Patriot fan or a team like the Patriots who's got some new. Some new players, some exciting players you probably want to watch a little bit.
New wide receiving core.
If you're a Dolphin fan, you got the new quarterback, new coaching staff, you watch a little bit of it.
Right.
But I think like the third game of the preseason where they actually implement some type of game plan, I mean, most of our viewers are educated to know this, but a lot of times the first couple of games, they really don't implement a game plan. Like, we're playing, Tampa Bay. Their strength is running the ball, so we really got to stop them from running.
And they just concentrate on that one particular
A lot of times
issue.
they don't really do that. A lot of times they'll just like, okay, we want to run, 5 pass plays, 8 run plays, and they do that no matter what the defense is.
Right.
So just kind of.
When you look at the scheme of the preseason and you start to, make a list of top 5 things, top 5 purposes of preseason games to get geared up to start the regular season, where does, seeing if some of your players are capable of making your starting team, where does that fall into play in the whole realm of things? Is that like the top-notch thing you're looking for, or is that sort of just in a mix of things? You know what I mean? As far as because you're formulating your team.
Well, it depends where you are. If you're Bill Belichick, you've got like a veteran team, a team that's been together, so you're kind of looking at maybe the new guys, how to fit them into the system. And then the third and fourth quarter, there's always guys who stand out or guys who...
Because this guy's fighting for jobs here. This is
there's no
a big
doubt
deal
about
for
it.
them.
Especially, I think that comes into play the third and fourth games, especially the fourth game, because the veterans probably go in for a blink of an eye.
Right.
And, it's like, let's say, there's different cut downs. There's like 90 players right now in a team. They cut it to like, say, 70 in a couple weeks. 65, and then then you got to cut like 5 or 6 players. Those are the critical ones because those guys you have to juggle. Some of those guys could get jobs.
Right.
So the last 3rd and 4th preseason game, somebody might win a job. So
Sure.
even though the 4th preseason game, you're like, oh, this sucks. I can't wait till next week, which is the real game start. A lot of guys are fighting for jobs either on a practice squad.
Yep.
Or to make
and these guys have so little opportunity to impress in a matter of 4 weeks. They might only get a couple of plays each week to try to show what they can do.
But
right?
a lot of the veterans don't play, so
they have a little more.
I don't know if it's like a limited opportunity, but you don't have a lot of time. I mean, because there's so many players, you might not play the whole game, and on top of that, you're playing against the other team's scrubs, so you got to kind of really make your presence felt, so to speak. So, yeah, it is. Rookies that you draft is interesting to look at, and
Now the Patriots have signed all their draft picks. Am I right, or am I missing
all signed.
one? So
there's
all
not
signed.
many draft picks that are unsigned.
Yep.
Brady Quinn, of course, is the most popular one. They're not far off on their money, but he's looking at year 3 or 4. In other words, if I become good, how does my contract escalate? In other words, say he starts for 3 years, which I don't think is going to happen. Number one, because we didn't draft him, so I hate him now.
Which is a common thing for
But
Dolphins.
if he's a starter for 3 years, now all of a sudden in his 3rd year he's a starter and he's only making low money for a starting quarterback, he wants to ensure himself that he won't have that problem at the end. But
so that's going to go by stats? Is that how that works?
Well, that's what he wants to do.
Right,
he wants to escalate. Oh, let's say I'm a starter in the 3rd year. Now I make $5 million because I'm a starter in the NFL.
Is that typical?
For quarterback, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Quarterback, a little different.
Because everything's based kind of around
Interesting
the
story I saw last night. Him and Larry Johnson are working out. Larry Johnson is the running back for the Chiefs.
Yep.
Who his second year, his second year became prominent. Now, he's starting to feel himself, had a good last year.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a premier back now.
Yeah.
But now he wants to be paid like one. And
Right.
his contract doesn't allow because I think he signed a 4 or 5 year. So now
At a base salary
So
of
he's
some
holding
sort.
out. So he's working out with Brady Quinn, and he told Brady Quinn, "Hey, listen, make sure in that 4th, 5th year you get something, so you're not in my position now."
Sure.
Of like, well, I'm one of the top backs in the league. How come I'm only making X amount of money? So that's kind of where it is. I mean, he's the most famous holdout. And, he's a quarterback. He needs to get in.
Right.
And he slipped in the draft, so he lost a lot of money there. So
locally famous anyway, at least in Patriot Nation eyes. We have a guy who's holding out right now, still looking for more money. And I guess the question is, how long will he hold out for?
That'll be interesting. Asante Samuel, he seems to have his feet dug in, so we'll see what happens. I mean,
And it's funny, last year, we talked about it on this show, and fans were telling us about it too. Asante Samuel, he's the man. You know what I mean? So now he wants to get paid like the man.
He had a lot of interceptions. He wants to get paid, and, the market dictates it, even though some people don't think he's like one of those shutdown corners like Nate Clements, who got signed by. So your Bengals are 49. It's not.
Stop.
But, that'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Eventually he'll come in, but he could come in as late as the 10th game of the season that's when you get your year of credited, your year for benefits and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but if he comes in the 10th game of the season,
He might not have no choice in the matter.
Well,
now,
the Patriots might just say, hey, listen, deactivate him every 15
And the Patriots are a team that can do that. They've been known to play hardball and get away with it. We've only seen a couple of circumstances in the last 5 or 6 years that a player has actually gotten his way. Asante Samuel might be better off just joining the Patriots now, getting up to par and playing his game. Now, he's got that franchise tag. That's only for 1 year.
He hasn't signed that. So if he signs that, he'll get $7.2 million a year.
Right.
Not a year, for this year.
Right. Now, am I right in saying, I thought I heard the Patriots had the right to franchise tag him again next year?
Well, they have that right automatically. Now, that's something that you can negotiate. Like,
Okay.
he could say, okay, listen, here's what I'll do. I'll come in for this year, $7.2 million.
Yep.
You guarantee not to franchise me next year.
And if they don't franchise him, they could either negotiate with him or he's
he'd
a
be
free agent for
right.
anybody.
That's what he wants.
Wouldn't that seem to be the smart thing to do right now?
Well, but he wants that. He figures, and it's tough to do. I guess you can look at both sides of it. He figures, listen, this is the best year I've had.
Yep.
Maybe one of the best I'll ever have. So in football, there's not a lot of guaranteed money. So if he could guarantee himself, people say $7 million is a lot of money, which it is.
Right.
But
At least in our
if he
terms
can
it is.
guarantee himself 15 guaranteed,
Yep.
that's a lot of money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
we say, oh yeah, $7 million is a lot, but another $8 million he could really, guaranteed. So they're looking for that big guarantee, because if he gets hurt, yeah, people say $7.2 million, you can live the rest of your life, blah, 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 blah. That's true, but now could be his time to get paid, so to speak. So he wants like that. Nate Clemens got 20-something million. That's guaranteed. And which NFL is a rare thing. Baseball, as we all know, you could suck rear end, for lack of a better word. But if you sign a 4-year deal for $30 million,
just ask JD
anything
Drew.
short of you're right. I mean, JD Drew's getting $15 million. The Red Sox will say you're the worst player with. Doesn't matter. He's going to get paid that money. So
and better yet, if they decide to cut a player like a JD Drew, you're still getting paid, because either you have to pay it off or your team does.
There's no way to get out of it. But, I mean, football starts this week as far as a full slate of exhibition games. Right. So when I get to this time of year, I like to say there's football every week from now till the end of January, which is a good feeling. But everybody knows how big a football fan I am. I'm not ready.
So you're not ready?
No, I'm not into the mode, because I love summer. I love summer. I'm a big golfer.
See, for you...
I was talking to Robin next door at the pizza place who's... future husband is Greg Sampson, I believe his last name. Greg Sampson, yeah. And he's plays on local tours. He's kind of a pro.
He's doing his thing, yeah.
So I'll talk about golf in the summer. You know me, I love summer, so I'm just not ready.
See, for you, the football means winter, and that's not the part that you like.
I'll glance this weekend.
So you must love baseball then.
I'll probably watch the Patriots a little bit, watch, a rerun of Miami on the NFL Network now, which is a great network. I just kind of glance, see who's winning. But you're right. I don't sit there and go exhibition game. I really want to see this. As a matter of fact, when that first game comes, you're like, whew, you're not going to see the scrubs in the fourth thing.
Right.
But, you're right. We got a lot of baseball, a lot of milestones.
A lot going on.
If I was Paul Revere, what would I say right now? Can you guess that's a riddle?
I have no idea.
The Yankees are coming. The Yankees are coming.
No, they're not coming
pretty good.
in the least bit. Yeah, and I've heard this. People email us all the time, by the way. It's a sports show at yahoo.com if you'd like to send us an email. And people are saying the same thing, especially, obviously, Yankee fans. Hey, the Yankees are on the way. What are they, 6 out at the time that we're doing this show? Come on. Six out.
They're 6 out.
You say there's plenty of baseball to be played. That little window is starting to narrow down now, and there's not quite as much baseball to be played. Yankees are going to start playing some tough teams, and the Red Sox have an easy team, I'll say, in Tampa Bay to still play yet.
That's certainly the counter-argument. The Yankees have feasted on not-so-great opponents.
Tampa Bay and Kansas City,
come on. And they're hitting 400 at home. Their ERA actually hasn't gone down since their All-Star break, which they've played a tremendous. Their ERA hasn't gone down a whole lot.
Right.
But they've been smacking the crap out of the
which
ball.
You know
They're
what?
hitting over 400 at home, which probably won't continue, but still.
Exactly.
Listen, nobody's not going to tell me if you're not a Sox fan, you're not going to be just a tad bit nervous.
Not yet. Not for me.
Really?
Get it within...
I said the race was over. I still believe it's over.
3.5. 3.5 is my magic number. I do not sweat a drip until it's 3.5.
3.5. That's 2.5 games away from where they are now.
But 2.5. People don't realize.
And mind you, the Sox have been playing pretty good ball.
What was it at the All-Star break?
The Sox have been. I think it was about 10.
Okay.
Roughly.
So you say 3.5 since the All-Star break. Well, that's not many games, but look how long it took for them to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because the Red Sox have also been playing some pretty good ball. It's just that the Yankees are just slightly ahead of them.
Slightly, probably. Obviously a 3.5 game difference, not much. Both teams playing winning baseball at this point. The Yankees slightly better, but like you said, the Yankees team ERA has gone down a hair, but not much. Their biggest problem was their pitching before the All-Star break. If their ERA hasn't moved much, that means they're still giving up plenty of runs. Their bats are all power right now. The Red Sox are doing it with small ball. Small ball is always going to last longer. Hitting home runs.
The Red Sox are stranding a lot of people, though. That's always been the worry.
But they're still winning their games playing small ball. The Yankees are hitting nothing but home runs.
How about this?
That's not going to go on for much longer.
Not to change the subject, and it's subject related. Next Monday, the Score, my boys at the Score, are having their Ryder Cup. It's not annual. This is like every 2 years.
Yep.
It's a nice format. It's golf, of course. It's at Newport National, which is a very nice golf course, and it's called the Red Sox-Yankees Ryder Cup.
Right.
And what it is 2 Red Sox fans versus 2 Yankee fans in a foursome.
Yep.
And you play match play like you play the scores. Well, the scores matter, but it's per hole. Like if the Red Sox team wins this hole, you're 1 up. In other words, it's not final scores.
So you get like a point per hole one?
No, you get a hole 1. You win, you'd be 1 up. If you win the first 2 holes, you're 2 up. That's basically until you run out of holds.
Right.
Me and
now, is that within the foursome, or
Yes,
do
no,
all
that's
the
within the
numbers get added for the whole field?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what happened. So me and my boy Scott, we're partners. We're playing 2 Yankee fans. I don't know who they are yet. So we win 3-2. That's 3-2, which means we're 3 holes up with 2 to play. That means obviously you can't catch up.
Right.
So, but that's a Red Sox win there.
Right.
So out of all the foursomes, you add up all the Red Sox wins, and the Yankees they did this a couple years ago. The Yankees kicked the Red Sox fans' butt.
No kidding.
So it's an interesting format, but the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because it was supposed to be in June 13th or 14th, which got canceled because of heavy rain.
You had a washout there.
And of course, the Red Sox had a big lead then. So now
Right.
that's why I'm saying it, because now it's next Monday, August 13th. And so, I mean, it could be 3 games, 4
Sure.
games. It could be 8 games.
In other
but
words, within your foursome and all the other
It's interesting.
foursomes,
It's
there's
an
going to be
interesting
plenty of
situation.
rivals.
Absolutely.
Now, here's the question that I have. Did you guys have this in 2004?
You know what? I think
I want to see if there's a correlation.
I think it was 05, but
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
So in 05, that was when the Yankees smoked you guys, right?
in golf, yes.
In golf.
Yeah.
And the Yankees won the division as well that year. So maybe there is a correlation. So you guys better get out there and kick butt.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the other interesting thing. In June, they were having a hard time getting Yankee twosomes because you got to get like a twosome
Right.
to match up with the Red Sox, or else, I mean, obviously it's not going to work out. You need half the field has to be Yankee fans, half the field has to be Red Sox fans.
Sure.
And they had to beg for Yankees. So I don't know if it was because of the
plenty
time
of
of
Yankee
year,
fans, that's for sure.
the expense of the tournament. But now, of course.
So what you're saying is it's quite possible that in June, Yankee fans were cheap.
Well, it could have been. It could have been cheap, and it also could have been. The Red Sox were way ahead.
So they didn't want to come out.
So
and
now it'll be
now there's
interesting.
a little rivalry going on.
And it's too bad that It's a Sports Show couldn't get out there and film this, because a couple years ago it was at Triggs.
Yep.
And Yankees went all out. One guy had his card all draped in Yankee
No
stuff.
kidding.
So it's a good rivalry, a good time. So
You'll have to give us the results. So that's on Monday.
Next week
so
we'll give you the results.
The next
Absolutely.
show, I not only
It'll be
want to
very
know
interesting.
how everyone did, I want to know how you and Scott pull off. Because I want to know if you're pulling your weight here. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
I will let you know. I'll give you every detail. But,
All right, let's talk Red Sox.
well,
Aside-
we just did kind of.
Yeah, we have been talking
No,
Red
well,
Sox.
there's
But
6
aside,
games ahead.
The team itself, at the time of this shooting, last night's game against the Angels, Manny, a rare ejection, if anything, a rare arguing of balls and strikes. You don't even see him do
Yeah,
that
the umpire
much.
was a nitwit. I think Manny was right, and he kind of
Yeah,
threw him
but
out
Manny
quick.
must have said something.
He threw him out
You know,
quick.
umpires have magic words.
Yeah,
You say
but
the
I
right
mean, if
thing.
you look at it, yeah, well, it depends on what he said. Maybe the umpire is Spanish, and Manny called him something in Spanish, but it didn't look like it was one of those, throw dirt. Oops, sorry. Throw the paper.
Right.
Throw dirt, or, I mean, it wasn't
No,
a
but
big
you know
inflamed
what?
it was a
Manny
quick
must have
ejection.
just said something, and you cannot get away with that. When there's fans around that can hear, you got at least the catcher and probably the pitcher that can hear it. You got to stick to your guns and throw them out.
The
no
Red
matter
Sox,
what.
they could have used the Jermaine Dye last night, which brings us to the other thing. The Red Sox
Yeah, we didn't
brought
get
in
to
Eric
talk about that
Gagne.
trade. And last time I saw Gagne, I think he's made 3 appearances now. First time he did well. Second time, not so good. He gave up a run and had runners on second and third before the defense took him out. I think you'll be a little more impressed by him as the days go on than what he's showing now. That 7-8-9 punch of Okajima, Gagne, and Papelbon is the best in the league. The problem I have with the trade is your bullpen was already best in the league. What you needed was a bat. We weren't putting up any runs.
No, I kind of agree with you. And Jermaine Dye, boy.
Oh, he's cranking since the game after the trade deadline. He hit 2 home runs and had like 5 RBIs that day for Chicago.
It's a good thing the Red Sox didn't trade for him, because he wouldn't have beat the Yankees.
Good point.
But I mean, it would have been nice to have him batting 5th or 6th. I'm surprised we didn't hear a lot of particulars of what they tried to do with him, as far as who the White Sox wanted. But boy, I'll tell you, with him in the lineup, it would have been solid, because it seems like when the Red Sox lose, they strand runners.
All the time.
They strand runners, and that seems to be what they do. I like the pitching. I mean, get us into the playoffs.
Schillen came back yesterday from his rehab
Not a bad outing.
And he didn't have a bad outing, but he was kicking himself in the butt this morning on the radio. And you know what? That's what he does.
He's always hard on himself.
But the problem is, it really wasn't. He did very well. He made a couple bonehead plays defensively, but he did very well otherwise. for a comeback after being out since before the All-Star break. So I don't knock Schilling at all. He pitched well. The problem is with the Jermaine Dye thing, the Red Sox have plenty of pitching on the farm. It would have been okay to give up a couple, and I don't think Red Sox Nation would have had a problem with that. I wonder if Red Sox management, the upper office management, couldn't swallow its pride with the J.D. Drew situation, albeit what the Celtics, opposite of what the Celtics just recently did. You know, Danny Ainge, in my opinion, swallowed his pride and said, this team's not getting anywhere anytime soon with these young guys. Let's dish them off and get someone in here. It seems as I wonder if the Red Sox management could not do that, and that's why the trigger wasn't pulled. Because they'd be admitting guilt if they brought in Dye.
The Jermaine Dye wanted to play, and now you got J.D. Drew there getting millions of dollars. So yeah, I mean, it was a tough situation. I said it from the beginning. That J.D. Drew thing. I just thought his salary was too big. I mean, $15 million, and not that I care because I've said it before. I don't care how much the team spends.
I know it's not your money.
Because you're going to pay $8 for a hot dog. But in this case, I think it's kind of hurting the team because
I agree.
You know, it's a big investment.
Yep.
You know, if it's a $3, $4, $5 million guy, hey, you can put him on the bench and not worry about it. But I mean,
you have to play him, and we've seen where Drew has played. He did outstanding when they put him in the leadoff spot for a little while.
He's had his moments, but
now.
You know.
I did hear something on the radio last week, I think it was actually Scott that was talking about it, was that J.D. Drew is having some stuff going on behind the scenes. This is something, you know, we watch all athletes and think that they are robots that get paid a ton of money to do what they do, and I'm guilty as charged. I do it myself all the time. But the fact of the matter is, these are real people. They have real issues going on at home, and I guess apparently... Let's start the violin. I guess apparently, you know, he's got some issues with some health issues with his son.
Yeah, his son had a big operation. I don't know.
That's got to be tough. His wife is pregnant too, I believe.
No, I mean, there's no doubt. A lot of these guys probably have personal problems. They just have a lot bigger bank account than we do.
Well, that's the thing.
But you know, I mean, money doesn't prohibit you from getting sick. Obviously,
sure.
Health and you know.
Well, the biggest concern with this guy was staying healthy.
We saw what happened with Folk with the with the supposedly off-field problems. He kind of disappeared into Neverland. And
the thing with Drew, the biggest problem that people had, along with the amount of money he was getting paid, was that the guy's always injured. Now, is it safe to say that Drew's been hurt a couple of times, but he's been fairly healthy throughout the year? It's his production. I mean, it has nothing to do with injuries.
That could be weighing on his mind. I mean, I understand that. You know, it's a tough situation. I mean, I'm sure that could have an effect on it. You know, but.
On the flip side, Coco Crisp, who had a terrible year last year, blamed it on his wrist. He didn't blame it on his wrist, but the media...
He's turned it around, though.
He sure has.
He's turned it around. He almost got run over by the Seattle ATV
Moose.
there, the Moose, which was an unbelievable incident. But
he almost got run over by an ATV.
I mean, it's 6 games. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty. But I mean, obviously, I think the Red Sox are going to hold on.
Yep.
I mean, I should hope they hold on. But, you know, I still like their pitching in the playoffs because I think that's what you need. They're just going to have to find a way to turn it on in the playoffs, bat-wise.
Sure.
And, you know, they got the guys to do it. It's not like, we would have liked to have a bat, but it's not like they don't have anybody. I mean, Lugo's been hitting a little better.
Yep.
It's not like, in other words, it's not like they have guys who have potential. They have guys that are probably underachieving, like Drew and Lugo. So, I mean, the resources are there.
Well,
you just hope they turn it around.
Even your big bats. Manny's putting up numbers. Ortiz is not. He's got it. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. He's got his average sky high, but he's got no power.
He's got a knee issue.
He's got a busted knee, which I still wonder if he should have got. Now it's too late, but maybe he should have gotten that taken care of 2-3 weeks ago so that it'd be okay in September. But maybe he wouldn't have a stroke back by then.
I still like the pitching. So if they get some solid pitching,
this is the time of year where we start looking at. You know, again, I'm not concerned about the Yankees until 3.5. The Yankees are trying to, and you know what? I don't even think the Yankees are looking at the Red Sox right now.
No,
they're looking at the wild card to get into the game at
they
this
should
point.
look at, like Joe Torre said it. It's a cliche, but we're looking at the opponent in front of us.
Absolutely.
Which they should do, but. You know, so, I mean, obviously we'll keep you updated. We're heading towards a home stretch. And let's talk a few other things.
Milestones.
Baseballs, because 5 minutes. It was a big baseball weekend. Milestones.
Greg Maddux. I'm sorry. I said Greg Maddux off the set, too. Tom Glavine.
Joe Walsh. He died last week.
You know me with names. It's amazing I get you right.
Tom Glavine.
Tom Glavine,
Could be the last lefty in our lifetime to get 300 because Randy Johnson's got 284 and
Yep.
he's breaking down like an old farm tractor.
Sixth left-hander, was that right? Fifth or sixth left-hander to do it?
Well,
It was 23rd.
Why don't you keep talking? I want to check our resources
Absolutely.
right now.
Tom Glavine, the 23rd pitcher to make it to 300. And as my esteemed colleague said, the next best lefty is Randy Johnson, who just had back surgery again for the second time in 2 years.
Fifth lefty. Only the fifth lefty.
You're right in that it may be a long time, if ever, that a pitcher gets that again because of how the game has changed. Tom Glavine is half old school when you used to pitch
He's in
complete
between.
games, 8 innings on a regular basis. So you pick up those
Ken
wins.
Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. is, a lot of people don't realize this, 11 home runs away from the 600 club.
Which is unbelievable.
If this guy never got injured, it would be amazing what he could do.
And the next one?
A-Rod, 500.
A-Rod 500.
Youngest player to hit 500.
That's impressive. A-Rod 500.
And you know what?
I would have thought for a change. I mean, that is impressive.
A-Rod, by the way, in all of Major
be on the
League
Red Sox
Baseball,
next year?
no, he won't be. The A-Rod is in all of Major League Baseball my second hated player. You're about to touch with the first. Yet I still take solace in the fact that A-Rod is going to eventually be the home run king. That's the only thing that makes me feel better about this jerk of a Barry Bonds. Maybe he's been a nice guy the last year. I don't know, but I go with the track record.
We're going to have to talk
here.
about Barry Bonds this week, and even though there's football next week, we're going to have to talk about Barry Bonds next week.
Ignore the crap
Yeah, but
out
you
of
know, I mean,
his record will not last for long.
This is one of the weirdest sports events I've witnessed, and I'm past 40. I know it doesn't look like it. Meeting street girls. You
What?
know.
This is new to me.
Listen, I'm
What?
probably the best 40-plus-year-old you've ever seen. Admit it. Listen, this is weird because
It's a
Bud
huge.
Selig is not there, which is crap.
He can't be.
Oh, come on.
He's made the effort.
Oh,
He went
he's
on
an
all
idiot.
these road
He
trips.
is an idiot. Listen,
He can't
Barry
be.
Bonds
He's still
is
gotta
a
run
jerk.
Major
Barry
League
Bonds is a
Baseball.
jerk. He probably cheated, but he's still playing. So somebody has to honor the record. That's
Yeah,
all
somebody's
I'm saying.
there for Major League Baseball. Somebody's in the stands representing. Major League Baseball has already basically said they're not going to do an on-the-field
They haven't said
thing.
anything. They haven't said anything.
The
Bud
fact
Selig
that they
should-
haven't said anything is the
No,
answer right there.
no. You have to say. You should say. Listen, I think he cheated, even though he's never been tested
Not
positive
gonna
for
happen.
steroids.
Can't do
and
that.
We're not going to honor
You
this
can't
record.
do that.
No, so you're just going to sit there and go, Mom?
Yes, which is exactly what he did
That's
when
crap.
Barry Bonds
No,
tied the record.
Commissioner has got to
You didn't
stand up
see
and say
him
something.
clap one time. He just stood there, hands in pockets. Interesting.
That's ridiculous.
And that's making a statement right there. He
Oh,
was
big
there.
statement.
He was
That's
there.
ridiculous.
That's enough that he was there. This guy went on the road with Barry Bonds and followed him
Oh,
around.
I went on a road. He put his hands in his pocket when he hit a home
for
run.
the home run that he couldn't hit.
Oh, he hit a home run. He tied the record.
So you're a Barry Bonds supporter? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not a Barry Bonds supporter. I'm saying this record has to be honored. Number one, because he's still playing. Number two, because they haven't obviously caught him with steroids because he's still playing, and the commissioner needs to get off his rear end because he's probably the worst commissioner of any sport.
I wouldn't go that far.
And say
He's done a lot
either
for
honor the
baseball.
record or say something like we're not going to honor the record.
He's-
You can't just go
he's
and watch
honoring
the
Barry
biggest
Bonds
record
by
in
being there.
sports being broken
He's
and
being
just sit
there.
there and look like an idiot.
Would you rather him just stay home then? What would you say
Absolutely.
if he was home?
If he's going to stand up in
No.
the press
He
box
has to
and
go.
put his hands in his
He
pocket.
has to go. He's making a statement by sitting there with his hands
What
in his
statement
pocket.
is he making?
He believes the dude cheated and they just can't catch him. You know
We're
what?
gonna have
I'm
to,
sure by
we're gonna
next
have to
week.
review this in the next
I
week
doubt a
because
week will go by that he
it-
won't hit a home run in San Fran.
This gets
so
my you-know-what going because this,
next
this
week
whole
we'll spend
situation-
more time on it. We'll probably
Absolutely.
lead off with it because he's going to be the new home run king.
Let's do
but
Barry
folks
Bonds next
and
week.
Bonds haters, he will not be the home run king for long because A-Rod's coming on, baby. So it's a sports show. Go to youtube.com, keyword IASS. We'll put up the new episode.
Thursday, 7 o'clock in Rhode Island. I will bring the myself personally drop off the
We need to hire an
DVD.
intern to do this to make sure
I
it's
know.
in.
I'm talent. Ain't I talent?
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.